I'm a Midwestern guy, so I like to think that I'm very nice and friendly and polite, but I'm also a comedian, so I'm incredibly self-centered and narcissistic. So instead of a God complex, I have an oh gosh complex. I like being from the Midwest. I think of myself as this cool New York guy, but my Midwestern past, it always pops up in sort of surprising places. Like the other day, I was just sitting at home, eating a snack, dipping some carrot sticks in some hummus. My girlfriend comes up to me, says, "Hello." It's a normal, traditional style hello. And out of my mouth, in response, pops the word howdy. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not a howdy guy, okay? It's not how I live my life. I thought I left that part of myself in the past, and it's okay, I don't judge, I'll throw a y'all in there, I'll do a gosh, sure, but a howdy, that's the hard stuff, man. Like a howdy, that's a slippery slope to a full-on yeehaw. I can't be living my life like that, you guys. No, but I realized, I didn't mean to say howdy. I think the universe made me say howdy, sort of to remind me where I came from, by making me say howdy, the universe whispered in my ear, "Jackson, I know you think you're pretty cool, walking around the streets of fancy Brooklyn, New York, looking like the mascot for a new baseball team called the Brooklyn Podcasters." But you're still a simple country rube at heart. You're just wearing your overalls on the inside. Then I looked down in the hummus and it turned into ranch. It was ranch the whole time, you guys. It was ranch the whole time. Ranch in my heart. Ranch in my veins. It's a medical condition. No, I like living in New York, though. It's fun. I'm a tutor. That's my job. I toot on a professional level. That's right. It's very impressive. It's a good job, though. I like it. I like working with kids. It's very satisfying. Because my life is going very well when compared to the life of a child. I may not be a great man, but I am a good boy. Sometimes it's hard, but I try to be a good tutor, It's tough because, these kids I work with, a lot of them are from these fancy Manhattan rich families, and that's not how I grew up. So I try to make sure the lessons I teach make sense to them, Like the other day, I was teaching a math lesson. And I said to my student, "Now, Mia, in geometry rather, when we use the word line, we mean a series of interconnected points that go on infinitely in both directions without ever stopping. So, technically, last weekend, you and your friends were doing line segments of cocaine." New York is fun. It's a good place. I like it because I like to drink. My beer's over there. That's how much I like to drink. Forgot where my beer is. No, I like to drink, and in most places you drink, you always have to worry about, how am I getting home? Am I driving? Do I have a DD? But in New York, you can take the subway, you can take a cab. You always have a safe way of getting home, right? Like if you get a DUI in New York City, it's not for lack of options. It's for love of the game. You have to be committed. It's fun. I don't ever drink and drive. That's bad stuff, you guys, right? It's no good. But one time I was at a party and then I was walking home and I crossed the street right in the middle of the intersection. I did not use the crosswalk. And a police officer was driving by. He saw me. He gave me a ticket for jaywalking, which was basically a ticket for drunk driving my own body. He's like, "Excuse me, sir, do you have any idea how fast you were going back there? Unless you were doing a lot of swerving and you had a very concerning stain on the back of your pants there. We're going to call that a busted taillight. Keep things on moving." It's good, though. I don't know, there's not a subway here. I don't know if you guys have ever been on it. It's a train underground. And being drunk on the subway is great. It's awesome. You meet all these other people. You learn a lot about yourself. You ask yourself questions that you wouldn't normally ask. Like being drunk on the subway, it's the only time I've ever really honestly asked myself, I wonder why everyone else on this roller coaster is so sad. Have you guys heard this phrase, self-care? right? Self-care is like a very, it's like a very trendy thing right now in like social media and commercials and stuff like that. And I think it's good, you know, I think obviously everyone should take care of themselves. But here's my problem with the whole self-care movement. Is that everybody wants to say, oh, Jackson, you should take care of your skin, you should use lotion, you should use moisturizer. But nobody wants to hear about how goddamn moist I've become. It's unfair, you guys. It's a two-way street. You gotta reap what you sow. Guys, I think we should be able to talk about, you know, I think there should be a safe place for a white man to talk about how moist he's become. So I've been going around town, I try to tell people I went from ashy to classy. Turns out that's not for me to say. Which is fine, that's good. So I came up with a new phrase that I think anyone can say. Feel free to use it if you want. Now I've been telling people I went from eczema to flexing, bruh. That's right. There we go. We're having fun. Oh man, I like doing comedy, but one day I'd like to write movies. I think that'd be fun to write movies, and I have a screenplay I'm actually working on right now. It's a modern day, it's like a reboot, it's a modern day update of the classic 1980s comedy, Three Men and a Baby. Shows you where all the characters are today in 2018. It's called Three Men and a Fourth, much, much younger man. Oh man, I'll leave you guys soon. I'm so sad. This has been so fun, but I'll leave you guys with this. And that's, there are some young men who enjoy being called daddy while they're having sex. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. One fan out there. Okay. Well, no, and I've heard about this, and I think it's okay, but I don't want to be called daddy. Like, I'm a little more old school. I'd like to find a girl who will call me grandpa. She'll say things like, "Oh, grandpa, I've been naughty." And I'll say, "I know, but I'm still so proud of you." Now, pop that pussy for Pop Pop. All right, you guys, I've been Jackson Fisher. Pop that pussy.